to my 20. Alright, that would be great.
Hello everybody, welcome to the LSSE gaming channel where we show you tips and tricks and how to be a better officer, cadet, or even somebody wanting to join LSSE. So as we can see, we're responding code 3 to an officer in distress with a disturbance call, a man possibly armed with a knife. He is possibly intoxicated at this time and is not complying with any officer orders. So we're rolling up to help our chief and our other officer, who is a sheriff, and we are going to now execute this takedown. It'll be a long standoff. In real life, police standoffs last up to 16 hours, and they can also last up to 2 minutes. It matters how aggressive the suspect is and when it's the right time to execute the plan. So whether we need to bring in negotiators, which for this time, there was no hostages, there's just a man armed with a knife, which is sad because he could have mental health problems or he could just be intoxicated, but we have to do what we have to do. And in this amount of time, we did not have enough time to call an STF, so it was our officers that did all the execution here, and they made sure that everything went well, and that's why we have trained officers, because when STF can't handle these situations, we always need our police force to be able to handle it. Now, lots of officers, including myself, are STF certified, so we do know how to handle these situations, but for the other ones, we can see everything was great, and as we heard, 3IC called in confirming that he did have a knife in his hand, and he does still have it. As we can see, just in case the officers who aren't on the scene don't know what they're rolling up to, or the ones that are on the scene that cannot see it. That way it's a safety procedure that everybody knows he has a knife. And as you can see, he's not listening to any orders. And our chief just called in another roll of additional, so another squad. As we can see, me and my partner rolled up, my partner and I rather, and another unit did as well. Now he's calling in more. We can hear them coming in code 3. He also called in medic to roll in and stand by. That way they're not up in the scene. That way they don't get injured, but they are on standby just in case any of us or the suspect were to be hurt. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch this part of the video, as it is very important that we can see how I executed the takedown and how all my partners and the other fellow police officers on the force did. This was a very, very successful takedown. As you can see, he comes more towards me, so I start backing up. That way he cannot lunge at me, and it gives a lot more room for my officers to cover me. So he comes back, I go back up, and I want to point out that there was some crossfire in here, but me and my chief and I, we all solved it. And as we can see right about here, it was a bit dangerous with the crossfire. So we both figured it out. We were like, watch the crossfire, and we got back in position. At this point, I'm going to let you guys watch to see how everybody controls this, as I said before, and I'll come back to you in a minute. As you can see, he starts lunging at our chief. He starts lunging, keeps on lunging, shots fired. That's the perfect time to shoot. After he lunged at an officer, we made sure that we did not hit him.
Here, Plainville Bay. Suspect is down, no officer casualties are repeat. Shots fired, no officer casualties. Let's get the MGs up here ASAP.
As we can hear, our chief does call in the shots fired, and our dispatcher does follow up with that. We do have shots fired now. I'll be waving down the ambulance to make sure the ambulance can come over and attend to the victim. And our ambulance is rolling up on scene now. We would want to point out we had no officers casualties, so that means no officers were injured or killed on scene, and the only person that was injured or to be killed was the victim, who got lots of bullets put into him after he lunged at our chief. The chief was not hit. As you can see, I hesitated to shoot because I knew that my line could have hit him, as with the other officers on scene. So we made sure when we had a clear shot, we did take the shot, not when the chief was in our crosshairs, because that could have ended dangerous. So we all were trained, and it was successful, and it's very, very successful. There's a great job by LSSE executing this takedown. Unfortunately, it doesn't always have to end this way. It's sad that this man had to lose his life, and it doesn't always have to end this way. Lots of suspects do give up when they do realize what they're doing. But But everybody, thank you for watching, and this is gonna be it for the video. So at this point, I'd like to say there's gonna be lots more videos coming up. If you're interested in joining LSSE, go to our website. Our next application season will be September 5th. That is when you can apply. If you're not in LSSE, I would also recommend watching these videos, not only for your entertainment to come up for the patrols, but for everybody else to learn how LSSE really works. Thank you everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe.